I would like to now invite Mayor Bernard to share his screen and present his update on what his city is doing in terms of AI for smart city. Mayor Bernard, please.
Thank you very much, Casey, and good afternoon to everyone joining us at this AI webinar, Go Digital Series 2020. It's an honor for us, a privilege for us to share what Kawayan City has been doing. And I'd like to take this chance and opportunity to thank Casey for making a lot of things possible for the city of Kawayan and for us to be able to really do more on our smart cities projects. So with that, I'd like to share on your screen a short presentation. Basically, Kawayan City is located north of Philippines. It's about 365 kilometers north of Manila. We are a very agricultural-based city. We are a third-class city that has about 140,000 population. We are about 340 square kilometers, and we are very agricultural based. Our main produce are rice, corn, and tobacco. And because of this, we are really indeed, and we take pride on how a small, poor, rural setting, agricultural setting or city was able to evolve as the Philippines' first smart city. This was given to us by the Department of Science and Technology. We have been doing smart cities projects since the very beginning, since the start of my term in 2013. But when the United Nations launched the new Sustainable Development Goals in 2016, we really took it upon us and localized it and called it Labing Pitong Hamon sa Bawat Kawayan. This is translates to 17 challenges for every citizen. It is incumbent upon us to be able to create and raise awareness on the SDGs and not just be it, for purposes of presentations, for purposes of governments to do policy making, but we want to engage the citizens, especially the youth, who will definitely take the role and play a big role in trying to address the global goals in each and every little way that they can. Next slide. This is shown earlier by Casey. It is through these partnerships and projects, through these linkages with the Smart Cities Council. It has opened opportunities for Kawayan to build strong partners with different international organizations and stakeholders. The most significant of which are the Smart Cities Council and the Smart Cities Network. Through, of course, it's very supportive and hardworking chairman, Mr. Chintay. This partnership has supported us in many ways, from providing technical assistance to linking us with key stakeholders who could help us resolve the pressing challenges that our city faces. The Philippines is generally among the typhoon-prone countries. We're hit about 20 typhoons a year, and Kawayan City is not exempted to that. In a year, we experience about 7 to 10 major typhoons here in the city, which leave severe damage in infrastructure, agriculture, and our community. So this is just a summary of the amount of loss that we suffered from the 7 typhoons we experienced last year, 2019. And this is the kind of challenge that we would want to address. We are grateful for the partnership that we have with Smart Cities Network, because it has allowed us to find the right people to help us address these issues. Graphical. We seal the collaboration for the creation of a digital twin to help us mitigate and plan for environmental challenges through artificial intelligence. As mentioned earlier by Ari, digital twin is really something that will create a positive impact in our city. The system can actually address different kinds of sectors, but I would like to highlight only 4 areas: city profiling, agriculture, healthcare, and disaster mitigation. On city profiling, the digital twin has a capability to provide us the demographic information about Kawayan City. What you're seeing right now is a 3D model where you can see the actual landscape of the city. And as you zoom in, you will be able to closely see the houses and who lives there. It is through this system, it will be able to provide us with the detailed information of the household. The number of family members inside the house, if there are senior citizens, persons with disabilities, or minors in the house, which is helpful in the decision and policy making of the government when it comes to providing assistance or augmentation when there is a disaster. City profiling with detailed residence information. In agriculture, it remains to be the backbone of our city. So this is one of the sectors that we need to strengthen. The digital twin has the capacity to measure agricultural land area. With this, in case this area is hit by a typhoon, we can easily identify the area which has been damaged, and we can easily calculate the amount of loss. The system has also the ability to identify which part is corn area and rice area, as well as the owner of the land area, so that in case of relief distribution, we can easily identify to whom we can grant such assistance. Normally, we give seeds and fertilizers, and this will just make us more efficient, and cash subsidy. This will make us more efficient in the distribution of those augmentations. Next is health. This system would be greatly helpful in identifying hot areas which have an outbreak of COVID-19, dengue, or other cases. With this, we would know which areas need to be isolated and which areas need to be or need augmentation. As you can see on the red area right there, that's something that we can easily do a lockdown anytime that there's a outbreak, especially COVID-19. Next will be, of course, disaster mitigation. The system has the ability to measure the flood level. From this, we will be prompted if there is a need to ask people to evacuate even before the flood happens, or an early warning device or system. We can also view the site condition after a disaster. This what you're seeing now is a picture, a shot of our Cagayan River. This is the longest river of the Philippines. It spans a few hundred kilometers, and this is one of the biggest problems. Every time it rains, the rise of water is really fast, depending on the rain, but not just on the rain. When the dam releases water, then we have a very big problem. And that's why this is something that's really useful to us, for us to be able to compute and see how fast the water is rising. So we can also view the site condition after a disaster without actually going to the site. So from here, you can easily calculate the amount of loss and the needed infrastructure to rebuild the damaged areas. As you can see, something like this would definitely put our people away from harm's way by not actually going or physically going to the site right after a calamity. Well, basically, AI would definitely greatly contribute to a more accurate and efficient policy making. And as we all know, data is now the new oil, and we have to take advantage of technology to provide more efficient and better service to our constituents. And at this time, I would like to introduce our Cagayan City First has been working closely with the academe, the Isabela State University, for our Smart and Sustainable Cities project. And they have been instrumental in research and development. And at this point, I would like to give the floor to Dr. Orlando Valderrama, the Vice President of Isabela State University, to discuss the different case studies on the other AI applications on our smart city. Dr. Orly.
Okay, so as mentioned by Mayor Bernard, Isabel State University is working very closely with the City of Kawayan, and we are implementing collaboratively a big smart city program. And we would like to share some initiatives that we are doing in the application of AI in this program, in particular in agriculture, health, and disaster risk management. The first one, in the next slide, we are working on an application to have a surveillance system, an AI-based surveillance system for this particular disease for cassava crop. Cassava crop is a very important crop in our province because it provides products for food, feed, and fuel. And the objective of this project is to be able to design, develop, establish, and implement an embedded system for smart detection, recognition, and mapping of cassava phytoplasma disease using aerial unmanned vehicle and deep learning technology. And you can see in the process framework how it works from an aerial survey using aerial unmanned vehicle, and then the development of the AI engine, and coming up with a visual, and then later on being utilized by our expert and the Department of Agriculture, and in real time or near real time, the information is being relayed to the farmers. So in the next slide, you can see some pictures about the disease. A picture inset. So this disease is being detected using AI object recognition, and then later on in the next slide, we can delineate the different areas as exposed area, area at risk, and area that are safe. Next slide. Now it's in the 2D dimension. We can provide information on the extent of and the status of damage. For example, in the red area, it highlights the detection of the disease and what are the areas that are exposed to this particular disease that we have to protect, and those that are safe area. Next slide. The AI automatic crop color change detection, and you can see those dots where in this particular view it provides a very good information on the spatial status of the disease. And then the second application is on the area of health. We all know that dengue is still a big problem. We still experience an annual outbreak of dengue. And here, this project is actually in collaboration with the NICT in Japan and an ASEAN consortium to create a smarter public health, public environment healthcare platform as preventive tool for dengue disease. And you can see the progression of the model of the development of the system from a data model to a smarter phase 1, phase 2, and then on the phase 3, it's going to be a very effective tool for surveillance same time. And of course, we have to employ here some expert to make some validation, like epidemiologists, and some insect expert. The next one, yeah, you can see here some historical information about previous outbreaks of dengue in the city of Kawayan. The green color shows dengue information by in terms of area, like not the number of cases and which communities is being involved. Next, the third application that we are doing is on the area of disaster management, and we develop with DOST a platform called REDAS. Initially, this platform is all about earthquake, because Philippines is also an earthquake-prone area. But over the years, we developed this into a kind of a multi-natural hazard exposure assessment, vulnerability, and capacity study. In the not only for earthquake but for landslide, strong winds, typhoon, and flood. And this platform is using a common database. So you can see some of the sample maps, like the ground shaking map, the flood susceptibility map, and the livelihood map. Next slide. Yeah, you can see in this slide the recognition of the buildings, where the buildings are given some categories. In this particular picture, the building highlighted is a building where there are some PWD. So we can also find out the critical facilities in this map, so that in the event of a disaster, the response team will know the priority areas to be given preferential attention.